Man, I haven't seen you in so long. I know it's a long way, but I wish you would come home more often. I'm going to forget your face if you aren't careful.
Oh, I know. I missed you so much, but honestly, I've just been so busy working towards my PhD. I feel like foreign professors have such high standards. I just can't figure out how to impress them.
You said you can get a position at the university as a professor once you're qualified, right? I thought you said you'd already spoken to them about it.
I did, yeah. There's a professor back home that I used to work with who said he can sort me out with a job. Once I'm graduated and done with my PhD, I just have to go see him and ask about it. I am so excited to be back home. I only have a year left, and then I'll be able to see all my friends again and have more free time. We should try to set up regular coffee dates to keep up with each other more often.
That's a great idea. Oh my goodness, I'm going to feel so proud saying my friend has a PhD. That's so impressive.
Don't get too excited. I'm going to be a regular working girl, just like everyone else. It really isn't anything fancy. How are you doing these days anyway? You have no idea how shocked I was to hear that you had gotten a divorce. It felt like it came out of nowhere. I think the news took a bit longer to reach me since I was abroad, so maybe I missed something. I was so angry for you that I almost got on a plane and flew home straight away to find out what had happened.
Well, it's all in the past now, thank God. It was really tough at the time, though, and sometimes it felt like it would never be over. I wouldn't wish that kind of horrible experience on my worst enemy. My parents keep telling me I should get myself back out there and start dating again, that I'm just rotting away in my room. I think they're worried that I'm never going to push myself to try something new again. Honestly, I kind of think they're right. I find it really hard to trust men now, especially after everything that happened.
I totally understand. If I was in your position, I wouldn't be able to walk past him in the street without beating him up. You remember I learned kickboxing for over 7 years, right? I can totally kick his ass if you want me to.
No, don't worry. He's not worth your time. People like that aren't even worth thinking about. Just leave him in the past.
You're right. I feel so bad that I couldn't be here for you when everything was going on, though. I'm really sorry.
Don't be silly. That's crazy. You know we were both so busy with work. I never expected you to fly home for me. Wait a second. Did you hear that Harry got married? Isn't that crazy? He always seemed the kind of guy who would be single his whole life. I didn't think marriage was his thing.
I know! You're totally right. I was so surprised when I heard he was married. I almost dropped my drink like some kind of sitcom. That's why I figured I just had to make time for it and come home for a while. I wanted to see all my friends, obviously, but I also wanted to go to his wedding. OMG, I almost forgot. Harry told me to give you your invitation to the wedding when I next saw you. Here you go. I had it in my bag.
Oh, it's next Sunday. Sounds good. Do you know anything about his fiancée? What kind of person is she? She must be really something if she managed to convince him to settle down.
I met her for a few minutes a while back, but she seemed pretty ordinary to me. She was friendly, though. She's a doctor at a university hospital, I think. The one downtown. We didn't really get to talk for very long, so I didn't really get to find out much about her, to be honest. My mom said she really liked her, so I imagine she must be pretty nice. You know about this, right? Mom was always so obsessed with Harry becoming a lawyer. It was all she ever talked about. I think she must be pretty excited that he's marrying a doctor, since that gives her bragging rights. She was putting so much pressure on him to find a nice girl and get married. I think he was getting sick of it. She had so many conditions and requirements for the girls he was dating, trying to make sure they were good enough. I think that's why he stopped dating completely for a while. He was just sick of her nagging him all the time and asking loads of questions. She was so disappointed when he said he was going to give up on becoming a lawyer and he was going to start his own business. You can't even imagine. I guess she was feeling pretty hopeful about his chances. He's a smart guy after all. After that, she said she didn't want to have anything to do with how his life turned out and just left him to his own devices. Now look at him, engaged to be married to a doctor at a really good hospital. She's so excited about it. When he told her, she smiled so big I thought her jaw was going to drop off. Now she has all the bragging rights she could ever want, and she tells anything that sits still long enough about her future daughter-in-law.
That's a good thing that she's proud of him. His fiancée must be a nice girl to have earned the stamp of approval. I forgot. Her name was Charlie? Something like that, right?
Yeah, Charlie. I can send you the digital version of the wedding invite, too. It has some photos of the two of them on it. You should be able to get a better idea of what she looks like that way.
Sounds good.
Oh, hang on. My phone is ringing.
My professor always calls me about something around this time.
I have to take this. I'll be back in a second.
No worries. Take your time. Charlie. God, that just seems like the worst name in the world to me now. I guess it's pretty common, though. I know plenty of girls called Charlie. Still, feels like I haven't heard it in a while. Okay, looks like the mobile invitation has come through. Let's have a look at these photos, then. She must be a very pretty girl to have everyone so obsessed with her already. Hang on a second. Is this her? Surely not. What's going on here? Are you kidding me? Have you been cheating on me with this other girl? All this time you've been saying you were at the hospital, but really you were having an affair. Is that really the kind of man you are? I can't believe you would betray me. How could you do this to your own wife? Do you have any idea how much this is going to hurt me? You've ruined my life. She's the nurse in charge of my care, too. Come on now, babe. We ended up spending a lot of time together and our feelings just started to grow and develop. What was I supposed to do? When a pretty woman comes up in front of you like this and says she's interested in you, you can't just say no. What kind of a man would have the strength to turn that down? There's no need for a big fuss. Besides, you have cervical cancer. Who wants a wife that can't even give them any children? It's not like you could fulfill your duties as a woman in the future. He's not even 40. You can't expect him to give up on having kids just because you're ill. It's difficult to picture a woman like you actually being a good wife anyway. Don't you think you're being a bit selfish here? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. She's always been this selfish, even back when I first met her years ago. Even after we got married, she was always so focused on her career and kept going into the office every day, working Monday to Friday. She even ended up having a miscarriage after she got pregnant, but somehow that wasn't enough for her and now she has cervical cancer. She just doesn't want to do her duty as a wife. Why the hell do you think you can be mad at me for cheating? God, I'm sick of your nagging. You're so right, babe. When we get married, I promise the first thing I'm going to do is give you a baby, just like you wanted. Your mom would be so excited and pleased too, don't you think? My mom already likes you. There's no need to make a big effort. Anyway, you and I are done, so let's just go ahead and start the paperwork for divorce. I've had enough of sitting around in hospitals waiting for you to get all these different treatments. At the end of the day, it's all up to you whether you're going to die or not. God, you're just the worst guy ever, aren't you? How can you do this to me? After pretending you love me more than anything? I have spent years supporting you from the shadows and trying to give you everything you ever wanted. Couldn't you have just supported me through this too? Stop asking me to wait around and take care of you. Are you just worried about it because you gave me all that money so I could start my business? That's so selfish of you, honestly. I'll just pay it all back as alimony. Quit worrying so much. He's right, you know. You kept telling him he should just give up and sell the business when it wasn't doing well. And now that it's become so successful, all you can think about is getting your money back. I hate women like you. Just be honest. If something is on your mind, say it out loud. Stop trying to hide your intentions. Hey, you should stop embarrassing yourself and just hurry up and die. Do us all a favor. Is this really how you want to live anyway? Sitting around in hospitals all the time? If you were really a decent person, you would ask the doctor if you can just start reducing your chemotherapy treatments and slowly fade away. Don't you have any compassion for the people around you having to wait for you to get better? She's right. You should really think of other people before yourself in times like this. Anyway, you're probably going to die soon, so I guess none of that really matters. Even if you do survive, you're going to be infertile, so you won't be a real woman. You might as well give up now. I'll leave the papers for the divorce filing on the side here. If you want to get your money back so you can pay for your treatments, you would better make this easy and not draw it out into a big legal battle. Sound good? I don't even recognize you anymore. You are nothing like the man I married. How could you do this to me? Cheating is bad enough, but having an affair with my nurse while I'm in hospital being treated for cervical cancer? You must be truly evil. You know, this is your fault, really. You have to make an effort with your appearance, or it's natural that your husband will go wandering. He has no idea how difficult that time was for me, with him filing for divorce right before I had to get surgery to remove my cancer, and then trying to recover on my own. It took so much energy for me to just live like a normal person after that and not let myself fall into a depression. I can't stand to watch this happen. I'm sure most people would be perfectly okay with seeing their trash ex-husband marrying someone who is just as selfish and mean as he is. Harry is a good man, though, and he deserves better than a low-life woman like you. I can't just sit by and let him make a mistake like this.
What's going on? I was surprised when you suddenly suggested we meet up again. I only saw you yesterday. Did you remember something you meant to tell me yesterday?
No, it's nothing like that. There's just something I have to tell you about his fiancée when I realized who she is. When I got home yesterday, I was having a look at the digital invitation that you sent me and going through all their pictures. When I heard her name, I was a bit suspicious, but when I saw those pictures, my fears were confirmed. I know this woman.
How do you know her?
You remember when my ex-husband had an affair? It was with a nurse? It was the nurse who had been managing my cancer treatment, actually.
Yeah, I remember. Wait a second. You can't be saying what I think you're saying.
I'm saying exactly that. His fiancée is that woman. Their names were the same, but I figured it's a fairly common name anyway, so didn't think much of it. When I saw the photos, though, I realized that it really was the same person as my husband's mistress. I haven't spoken to my ex even once since we got divorced years ago. I didn't even know he had broken up with her, but I guess he had, and now she's marrying Harry. He has no idea what kind of a person she really is. I was so shocked, as you can imagine. I can't believe she would deceive a good man like this.
Honestly, I had absolutely no idea. I can't believe he's marrying that crazy woman. When I met her that time, he introduced her to everyone. She seemed so quiet and gentle. I would never have guessed she could do something like what she did to you.
I'm sure she pretended to be a certain way so that you wouldn't realize what kind of a person she was. Harry is a really good guy with a good job. She knew he would never marry someone unless they seemed like the whole package, so I guess she just lied about who she really was.
Man, I bet Harry has absolutely no idea what kind of a person she is, or he would never be doing this. He's always been so protective of you, like you were his little sister. I remember when he heard about your marriage ending and what had happened, and he was as upset as if it had happened to himself.
You're right. He has always been so kind to me. I remember he visited me in hospital and demanded I gave him her number. He said he was going to get her in trouble, since he's a lawyer and I guess there was some kind of rule about dating patients. I was about to go into surgery, though, and was in really bad shape, so nothing ended up happening. Harry tried his best to convince me to fight them, but in the end, I had no choice but to agree to the divorce. I was too ill to go through a whole legal battle.
I was so excited to hear Harry was finally getting married. I can't believe it's ended up turning out like this. He seems to really like her. What do we do? How can we figure this out?
We are going to have to tell him who she really is. We will have to make a plan so that she can't contact him again after this, too. Or she might be able to win him back. What's up with you guys? Why did you want to meet up? I was pretty surprised when you suggested we hang out, Katie.
What do you mean? We haven't caught up properly in ages. The last time I saw you was for about 5 minutes at Grandma's 70th birthday party. Besides, if you're going to marry this girl, it's only fair that we get to know her properly before the big day. We met briefly before, right?
We did, yes. It's great to see you again. I've heard so much about you from Harry. It sounds like you two are really close. He mentioned that you've been studying for your PhD abroad. It's really impressive. I bet it was so tough to be accepted, let alone manage to get all the way through the course.
It's nothing really. Once you're there, you just kind of do whatever you're told and eventually you graduate. Besides, being a nurse is a very important job too. You should be very proud of your achievements. It seems like the sort of job you would have to be really passionate about, with the long hours and tough patients, right? People's lives literally depend on you working hard and doing a good job. I imagine that can be really stressful.
You're so right. Charlie has such an impressive work ethic. It's amazing to see how driven she is about her career. Most people would just walk by when they see people suffering, but not her. It was her big heart and kindness that made me fall for her after all. Oh, you too, babe. Stop flattering me so much. You're going to make me embarrassed. I hate talking about myself like this.
Seems like you must be a pretty shy and modest person then, right? I don't suppose you ever attended an acting school, did you? Have you taken acting classes before?
I'm sorry. I don't think I understand. I've never really been interested in acting myself, so I never took classes. She's right. Charlie has wanted to be a nurse since she was really young. It's always been her dream job. Why are you suddenly talking about acting? That seems a bit random.
Oh, no reason. I just got the feeling that Charlie was the sort of person who had a talent for acting. That's all. It was a compliment, I promise. You just had the vibe of someone who had performed on stage or something.
Well, it's the first time anyone has ever said something like that to me. Thank you. You're very sweet. Charlie sure is pretty enough to have made it big in Hollywood. She's got those movie star looks.
Oh, by the way, Harry, it's Mom's birthday this Friday. You haven't forgotten about it, right? I asked her what she wanted to do to celebrate, and she said it would be nice to get the whole family together and have a little party.
Sure thing. Charlie actually already called a restaurant nearby and asked to book one of their private rooms, so there should be plenty of space.
She's so proud of you. I know she will love to have you there. She told me I should come too, since I should still be in the country. Oh, and I'm going to invite Sarah, since she's basically family.
Oh, really? It's been ages since I saw Sarah. That would be nice. Is she doing better these days? How is her health these days? I said I was going to make an effort to stay in touch with her and keep up with how she's doing, but these days I'm just so busy and flustered. I feel really bad about letting her down, actually.
She's been doing really well. She's basically completely healed now, and her doctor said she's in remission. It sounds like the surgery she had was really helpful, and they managed to get all the cancer. You don't mind if I invite her, right?
Of course not. She's like a sister to me. As long as she feels up to it, I would love to see her. I have a friend named Jason, too, who you probably remember. He lived in our neighborhood, so we spent a lot of time together when we were growing up. Do you think Mom would mind if I invited him, too?
I'm sure that would be fine. I'd be interested to meet him and find out what kind of a person he is, too.
Did you say Sarah had been unwell? I heard you talking about a surgery. What happened to her?
She was diagnosed with cervical cancer a few years ago, but she had surgery and chemotherapy, and she's made a full recovery now.
Oh, the poor thing. Cancer is so horrible. She must have had a really tough time with it. Obviously, I work in a hospital, so I see a lot of cancer patients, and part of my day is helping them with their treatments and care. It makes me so happy when people recover from it, since it's such a terrible condition. When people end up passing away, it's just so tragic. Especially if they're young. I'm glad Sarah was able to beat it at least. Anyway, I'll have to get to know her and Jason better when we meet up at your mom's birthday party. Sounds good. Hopefully they can both make it. I'll contact them now and see if they're free.
See you guys then!
Oh, are we here early? I can't see your mom and dad anywhere. It's so quiet. She just called me. They got stuck in some traffic on their way over, so they're going to be a bit late. Oh my goodness, Sarah! I'm so glad you came. It's been way too long. You're looking well. I'm so happy to see you. I'm glad to see you up and about again. You look so healthy. Good to see you too, Harry. Oh, right. I should introduce you both. Charlie, this is my very good friend, Sarah. She's like another sister to me. Hi there. Oh. Huh? Do you two know each other already? I don't think so. I'm not sure I recognize you. Sorry. Do I know you? Oh, no, I must be mistaken. I think I confused you with someone else. I just have to go to the bathroom for a moment. Excuse me. I'll be back in a second. Are you okay, babe? You've gone really pale all of a sudden. Is something wrong? No, I'm totally fine. I told you, I just have to go to the bathroom.
It's been a while, huh? I wonder how many years it's been. I reckon it must have been about 2 years or so, right? I heard you left the hospital I had been a patient at straight away after everything happened. Where are you working now? I wonder if you ever told them about what happened. I guess that must be why you left after all. A nurse that had an affair with a patient's husband isn't exactly a great employee. Does Harry know about it? I can't figure out if you've told him or not. I assume you haven't. He's a good person with a decent moral compass. I doubt he would be with you if he knew what you had done.
Please, just do me one favor. This is all in the past now, so could you just keep it a secret and not tell anyone today? I'm so sorry for how things happened back then. Honestly, I am. I was so young and stupid, and it was a terrible thing for me to do.
I mean, 2 years isn't a very long time. Besides, you were 28 when it happened. That isn't exactly very young, so I don't think that you can use that as an excuse. At 30 years old, you shouldn't be so naive that you think it's okay to steal someone's husband.
Truly, I'm not lying. As soon as the two of you got divorced, we broke up. Please, you have to believe me. You know your ex-husband wasn't a good guy either. I was miserable when we were together. Don't you think I've been punished enough for what I did back then? I had to quit my job that I loved. His business crashed and burned, but he stuck close to me and started gambling to try to get his money back. He started drinking all the time and went really crazy. He was completely off the rails. If it hadn't been for me, you would still be living with him as your garbage husband. Really, I did you a favor. Can't we just move on and leave it all in the past? I'm telling you, I really do love Harry and I want this relationship to work out. Do you believe me?
I mean, back then you told me that you really love my husband, too. I just don't know. I have a different kind of love for Harry, and I don't want to watch him get hurt when I could have done something about it. He is such an important person to me, and I want to protect him from women like you that will break his heart. He deserves better than a cruel, selfish woman like you. He's a good guy.
Please forgive me. Our wedding is in a month. I don't want anything to go wrong before then. I promise to spend the rest of my life atoning for what I did and treating Harry right. Oh, or I could give you money. Is that what you want? Do you want me to pay you to keep quiet?
You think I want money? I don't think you can have much money. After all the alimony you and my ex-husband had to pay me back when everything happened. Although I guess nurses must be pretty well paid, so maybe you are rich after all.
How much do you want me to give you? Please, I'll do anything if you just don't say anything to Harry.
Let me think. I feel like about $100,000 should ease my mind about the two of you getting married. Does that seem fair? I feel like $100,000 would help me find my generosity and forgiveness again.
$100,000. I don't have that kind of money, though. I ended up paying you everything I had in savings as part of the alimony agreement. I don't have anything left, I swear. I wouldn't lie about this, honestly.
Well then, I guess you leave me with no choice. I just have to tell Harry if you can't figure out a plan. Okay, see you later. I should go find him now.
Wait, no, don't go. Please, I can find the money from somewhere, just don't tell him. So if I pay you $100,000, you swear you won't say a word to Harry, right? You promise?
Go and get the money first, then I can reconsider what I should do.
Okay, I understand. Whatever happens, just please give me some time and don't tell him today. Will you do that for me?
I would never tell him today. I was invited here as a guest. I just want to eat and catch up with everyone. Why else would I be dressed up like this? You should hurry up and come out and meet everyone, too. It sounds like their mom just got here.
God, what kind of bad luck do I have to meet her again here? I'm going to go crazy, I swear. I thought I had finally got my dream and was living my destiny with a good man, and now my past has caught up with me again. Well, I am just so happy and relieved to see that you're all better, Sarah. I was so shocked and upset when I heard the news about your diagnosis back when you were first being tested. So you're all better now. Did the doctor say you're in remission?
I am. The surgery and chemotherapy combined managed to get all the cancer, so I got the all clear. Thank you for sending me all those supplements and extra medicines while I was in the hospital. It was so sweet of you. I was so weak from the chemo. They really helped me through it.
Not at all. I just wanted to do what I could to help you through such a tough time. I didn't say this at the time, but since you came today, I guess I can just say it in person. I am so relieved you ended up getting a divorce from that awful man you were with at the time. I know he's already missed out on having you in his life, but I just know that he is going to be punished for thousands of years in hell for what he did to you. I guarantee it. His karma will come to get him.
I agree. I was speaking to someone earlier who mentioned that they heard his business had gone bust and he had lost all his money. I think he's a bit of an alcoholic these days. I know it must be true, too, because the person who told me is extremely close to him.
Oh, goodness. Oh, sweetie, are you okay? Are you choking on something? Here, drink some water quickly. This should help clear your throat. Yes, thank you so much, Maggie. I'm better now.
You don't seem to be eating much, Charlie. Are you okay?
No, I've had a lot to eat, really. I have a big appetite. No, she's right. You don't look well today. Your face looks really pale and clammy. Is something wrong? Did you eat something bad? Come on, let me help you. Honestly, I feel completely fine. Please don't worry about me. Just enjoy your meals.
I guess being a nurse, you must know your own body very well. What a useful skill to have. Didn't you say you worked somewhere else before the hospital you're at now? What was the name of the place you worked at before?
Why are you asking me that all of a sudden?
I mean, I'm just curious. Is it some kind of a secret?
Don't worry. I remember you saying you worked at that huge hospital downtown, right? That's a pretty famous one. I'm sure I remember it right.
Oh my goodness! That's where I went for my surgery!
I had all my cancer treatments there, actually.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Imagine if the two of you had met. Wouldn't that be such a crazy coincidence?
Well, I mean, it's a very big hospital, so I guess our paths just didn't cross while you were there. Even so, doesn't this all seem like fate? Isn't it a great feeling to have such a talented nurse in our family? We'll never have to wait in long queues at the hospital again. We can just ring Charlie quickly to get her professional opinion on everything. Of course, it's never a good thing to get sick, but it's reassuring to know we have a trained medical professional who can help us whenever we do feel unwell.
Yeah, it's something to be really proud of. Where did Harry go, though? I haven't seen him in a while. He said he just had to go and move the car. It shouldn't take him this long.
You're right. He has been gone for a while. I'll see if I can call him and find out where he's gotten to.
Don't worry. I don't mind going out to look for him.
Oh, well, I'll come with you. We can find him together. I need to make a quick phone call anyway. Please, can't you just make an excuse and leave already?
Why?
Do you keep feeling nervous that they're going to find out? I promised I would find the money you asked for and pay you. Can't you just leave? Please? I'm so terrified of them all finding out what happened. That's all I want. Just leave early so they don't keep asking questions.
Stop panicking and just leave it. I was going to go anyway. I lost my appetite trying to eat while having to stare at you, thinking about what you did to me. I'm going to give you 5 days to find the money, so you had better figure out a plan pretty quick. If you can't get the money in time, I'll have no choice but to tell Harry about you.
But how am I supposed to find $100,000 in only 5 days? It's impossible. Can you give me just a little bit more time? Please, I'm begging you.
I know how precious my time is. I learned that lesson when I was fighting for my life in hospital, and every moment counted. 5 days is a long time to me. Don't you think I'm being more than fair? I could have asked you to pay me by the end of today. Still, I guess I feel bad for you knowing what happened with my ex-husband after he left me and you were stuck with him. I'm leaving now. See you later.
God, how does she expect me to find $100,000 in only 5 days? This is crazy. I don't even know where to start. How has my life ended up like this? I must have the worst luck ever, seriously. I wish my life had just ended back then so I wouldn't be in this mess now. If only I hadn't made that mistake years ago, I wouldn't be in this mess now. God, I am so mad. Babe, what are you doing out here? Are you okay? Oh, it's nothing. I just had to make a phone call, and you hadn't come back inside, so I said I would look for you at the same time. Was that Sarah that just drove away? I think I recognize her car. Why is she leaving already? Oh, she said something urgent had come up and she had to dash off. Oh, really? That's such a shame. I wanted to hear about how she's been and what she's been up to. We haven't spoken properly in so long. Well, what can you do? If something comes up, you just have to head off and deal with it, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right. Never mind, I guess. Here, this is the $100,000 you asked for. I had to take out a whole bunch of loans to get all the money in time. I barely managed it. So please, just take this and forgive me. Wow. I must say, I'm impressed you actually managed to find the money in a pretty short time. Is this the same tactic you use to seduce men? Just show them a big wad of cash? It seems you have a talent for this sort of thing. Maybe you're wasted in nursing. Please, just tell me that you forgive me, right? You told me to get the money in cash, so I did that. It's all here in this suitcase. Now you have to promise never to turn up in my life again and risk my marriage, okay? That was our agreement, so you have to stick to it. Sure, sounds good to me. Now that this is sorted, there's no reason for us to see each other again. Really? Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. I knew you would understand my side of things eventually. Oh, there you are, Harry. You're a bit later than I expected. You should really make more of an effort to be on time to things. Harry is here. Why? How did he know where to find us? Charlie, what are you doing here? This is such a surprise. I had no idea the two of you were so close. You must have really bonded at my mom's birthday party. Sarah said she had something serious that she needed to talk to me about as soon as possible, so I said we should meet up. How did the two of you become friends? As you know, Harry, there have been so many coincidences recently. Like how Charlie worked at the hospital where I had my treatment. We really bonded over that, and now we're so close that she's giving me $100,000 in cash as a gift. Isn't that right, Charlie? Why, you tricked me! This was a trap! You swore you wouldn't say anything! How can you do this to me now when you promised not to say a word if I got the money? You're a liar and a fraud! Honey, what are you talking about? What is this about $100,000? Why would you give Sarah so much money? You barely know her. Or maybe you do know each other? What's going on? What did I say I wouldn't tell him? I never signed a contract, so you have no proof of anything. I just told you I would think about your request, and I did that. Harry, you remember I got divorced because my husband had an affair? This is the other woman that he was seeing. I know who you are as a person, and I know you would never marry her if you had any idea about the sort of person she was. I care about you and your happiness, Harry. You know that, right? Hey, are you really this determined to destroy my life? You're being so mean! This is all so unfair! How dare you do this to me? What are you talking about? I don't understand what's going on. Are you serious? Charlie is the woman that your husband cheated on you with. Surely that can't be true. There must be a mistake. It is true. I'm sorry. I didn't know things were going to turn out like this either, which is why I never thought I needed to warn you about who she was back when everything happened. If I had known this was going to happen, I would have given you her number when you asked for it years ago. Maybe we could have avoided this mess. Baby, listen to me. This girl is lying to you. Nothing she said is true. I promise. It's all just a huge misunderstanding. I mean, I did meet her husband back then, but it was nothing like how she's describing it now, believe me. She was just another one of my patients, and he was just someone that I met when he would come in to visit her. Nothing happened, and that was all it was. I'm a victim here, not her. Her husband was totally crazy about me and stuck to me like glue, but I never did anything to encourage it. I didn't want him to be like that. I was so uncomfortable. She just misunderstood what was going on and thought I had seduced him or something. But I would never, ever do that, I swear. This is all so unfair, oh my god! I already told you, didn't I? We spoke about this before. Sarah is like my little sister. There is no one else in the world that's so important to me. According to you, my precious little sister is trying to punish you for doing nothing wrong, and you're a victim. I know her, though, and she would never do something like that. Are you sure you aren't lying about what really happened? Why would you have gone so pale when you saw Sarah if you're really telling the truth about your innocence? You kept telling me not to get too close to her after you met her the other day, and I did think that was strange. It seemed weird for you to tell me to watch out for her when you had only met her once for a few hours. I just assumed you were jealous of us having such a close relationship, even though I told you I don't love her like that. What? Do you mean you don't believe me? I'm the person you're about to marry. How are you going to believe her over me? You should trust me. If you were really an honorable person and your relationship with Sarah's husband was completely innocent, there would be no need for you to pay her $100,000 to keep quiet. Is this why you called my parents and told them you were sick? They sent you money to help pay your medical bills, but I guess this is what it was really for. How much did you borrow from them? They gave her about $30,000, I think. She told them it was urgent, so they transferred it over to her straight away. That's okay. In that case, you should take a third of the money here to pay them back. You can keep the other $30,000 for yourself. I never did file a lawsuit against you back then, so I guess we can just think of this as the money we would have won. I don't want to take your dirty money. You can't have found this much money in 5 days without doing something shady. I don't want it to come back and bite me later if I keep it. Anyway, good work finding $100,000 in 5 days. That was very impressive, honestly. And congratulations on ending your engagement, too. This can't be happening. She's a liar! Harry, there's less than 2 weeks left until our wedding, right? We've already filed all the paperwork, sent all the invitations, and found a house to live in together once we're married. Surely you're not going to leave me now? It would be such a waste. Everything that she told you happened so long ago. It's way back in the distant past, and I've reflected and learned so much since then. I'm a different person, I promise. This would be a very unfair world if you have to forgive someone just because they regretted what they did. You did a truly terrible thing, and Sarah is allowed to be angry with you for what you did. I gave up on being a lawyer because I saw how many people out there are just like you. Selfish and mean, with no real remorse. I'm ending things with you from today. So just know that the wedding is off. My parents will understand why when I explain the situation to them. So don't bother trying to convince them that you did nothing wrong. Do you really think you did the right thing here? Surely you realize there were better ways to fix this. Still, what a relief that I found out before we got married. That would have made it much more difficult to get rid of you. Come on, Sarah. Let's get out of here. Sure thing, Harry. I'll be right behind you. I'm so sorry, Harry. I know that must have been a really big shock for you. Don't worry about it. Honestly, I'm the one who should be apologizing to you. I'm just relieved that now my life is my own again. Imagine if I had married her and never found out about who she really was. I can't believe your past came back again like this. It's just unbelievable. This must have been so difficult for you, being reminded of her and having to relive everything that you went through. It really isn't a big deal. Don't worry about me. I just feel bad that I couldn't warn you about her before now. If I'm being honest, I think I wanted to be there to watch you calling off the wedding and ending the relationship. In a way, it makes my memories less painful, knowing that I could protect you from her in the future. Was I being selfish? No, that's not selfish at all. You were looking out for me, and I can understand why you would want to do anything to make your memories less painful. I imagine you must be feeling pretty good right now, too. This is a good thing. Back then, when everything was happening and was so fresh, you had to go straight into surgery after finding out about your ex-husband's affair. You were never able to get revenge for what they did to you. I'm glad she's finally getting what she deserved now, even if it took a while for the consequences to catch up with her. I must just have terrible taste in women. I always seem to pick the wrong girl. Maybe this is another sign that it's my destiny to be alone for my entire life.
Don't be stupid. That woman was the problem, not you. You'll meet a nice girl who treats you right one day. I know it. Don't let this make you feel too disheartened. And just keep your chin up. I'll tell your mom about what happened, so don't worry about that either. I can explain to her who Charlie really was and tell her how you were just another one of her victims. She's going to understand why you had to call off the wedding. I'm sure.
You don't have to do that for me, Sarah. My mom was so mad at me when I told her I was going to quit being a lawyer and start my own business. I thought she was going to beat me up or something. Then you spoke to her about it and explained why I wanted to do it, and she trusted your opinion. She knows you're a sensible, reliable person. Even if it wasn't for a reason like this, I don't know how she's going to feel about me suddenly ending my engagement out of the blue. I hope she can understand where I'm coming from. I know you'll do a good job of explaining to her about what happened.
She's an incredible person. I know she will take this in stride and be supportive.
I just hope she knows that this is the start of something good for me. I have a chance at a happy life after all. You gave me a second chance when I didn't even know I needed one. How can I ever repay you?
Are you crazy? You don't need to repay me ever. I'm the one who owes you big time for everything you've done for me over the years. You were like a caregiver to me after my surgery, and you never complained once about having to help me with everything while I was recovering. After I was discharged, who was it that found me a place to stay? You. You did so much research and got the agent to give me a discount, too. That's not it either. I know you had something to do with me getting my job as well. It's thanks to you that I'm living a healthy life as a normal member of society. I couldn't have done any of this without you, Harry.
You know what you mean to me, Sarah. Any man would have done all that and more for his precious little sister. Don't worry, I'm going to set you up with a nice guy. Now that you've given me a happy life, I need to do the same for you. It's my job to heal my own wounds, but I want to help you with yours. You're a good person, and you deserve better than what you got. I'm sure there are plenty of nice, successful guys around here that would be so excited to get the chance to go on a date with you. I'll start asking around and see if I can set you up on a blind date. It's going to be fun.
A blind date? Oh, Harry, come on now. I feel the same way as you. I have no interest in dating anymore after what happened to me. I'm happy just living life on my own and being independent.
Well, why don't you try it just once? Come on, push yourself to try something new. The best way to move on from your past is to learn to trust people again. And you have to meet someone new if you want to do that. I'm going to find you at least one date, so just keep your diary open and promise you'll meet them.
Man, Harry, I'm being serious. I'm just not interested in meeting anyone.
Hi there. You're Sarah, right? Nice to meet you. I'm sorry I'm late. The car park was completely full and it took me ages to find a space. This place must be good. Usually I prefer to get here first. I'm not usually a late person. There was such a huge queue to get into the car park. I was stuck there for about 15 minutes before I even got it. I'm really sorry to have kept you.
Oh, don't worry about it. I only got here a minute ago. I haven't been here very long.
Still, it's very rude of me to have arrived late. I hope you wouldn't mind me buying you dinner later to apologize. Would you be up for that?
Well... Actually, there is something I thought I should talk to you about.
Oh, really? Please, go ahead.
To be completely honest with you, I'm not really looking to meet someone right now. I know we're on a blind date, it's just... I was involved with someone in the past and it ended badly. So I've been single for a few years after that. I guess I've gotten used to living on my own. A close friend of mine insisted on trying to set me up with someone, and I didn't feel like I could say no to him. He seemed so excited. I just thought that was something that you deserve to know, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
No, don't worry about it. I actually feel the exact same way, you know. I don't know what your experience was like in the past, obviously, but Harry did mention to me briefly what had happened. He told me that you had been married, but ended up getting divorced and were really hurt by your ex-husband. He said you're still trying to heal from what he did to you. Although, I will say this one thing, if you don't mind. In my time running my own business, I've met a lot of people and been able to have a lot of cool experiences. And I've realized that in the end, it's easiest for people to heal their wounds when they push themselves to try something else. Of course, I don't mean to pressure you or say you have to do anything right now. What do you say to keeping in touch as good friends? Would you be comfortable with that?
Friends? That's okay with you?
Sure. Like I said, I feel the same way as you about not being able to trust people after having a bad experience and being betrayed. As soon as I saw you there, I could just tell that you were a good person. You have a great energy and vibe around you. Just really positive. I think it would be a shame for us to not even stay friends, don't you agree? Will you give me a chance to prove myself as a friend at least?
Well, it's just that it takes me a long time to trust someone, even as a friend. I don't open up to new people very easily.
No problem. That's totally okay. I'm not expecting you to rush anything. Just go at your own pace. I'm happy to build a relationship slowly, so don't feel like you're being pressured or anything. We can go as fast or as slow as you want in getting to know each other. We can just meet up every so often and talk about what we've been up to and stuff. Charlie, is this true? There are rumors going around that you had an affair with a patient's husband, which would be a massive breach of everything this job is about. Do you have any idea what a fuss this has caused for the whole hospital? If it reaches the media, our patients aren't going to trust us anymore. Customer complaints can mean the end of a business. This is really serious. No, boss, please. You have to listen to me. It's all a huge misunderstanding. Nothing ever happened. This is so unfair. There's someone out spreading lies trying to ruin my life. What do you mean, misunderstanding? I heard about this from a nurse that works at the same hospital that you used to work at. Do you think she's misunderstanding things? She probably saw it all happening. Apparently, you tried to keep it quiet and just quit as soon as possible so no one would find out. Even if you didn't see things that way, don't you realize what you did wrong? You should have handled the whole situation much more professionally, even if it wasn't true. Anyway, our patients are going to find a different hospital if they learn that we hire nurses who will steal their husbands, and we can't have that. Your colleagues and I won't work with someone like you either. It makes all of us look bad. You should just quit now, for everyone's sake. What did you just say? You're going to make me quit just like that? I don't understand. That's so unfair. I haven't even done anything wrong. This is unjust termination. Are you serious? Unjust termination? Well, your real colors are starting to show now. We gave you the chance to quit on your own and keep your dignity and self-respect intact. If you won't agree to it, we will just have to give you notice of dismissal. We can't have you working here anymore. If what you did gets out, it affects the image and reputation of the hospital. You should think about what you want to do anyway. Either way, you won't be working here anymore. God, I am so mad about all of this! What's happening to me lately? Why is something that happened so long ago coming back to bite me now? My life was going so well! There she is! We have to stop meeting so infrequently. Congrats on your graduation, Katie. Or do I have to call you Doctor now, since you have your PhD?
Oh, don't be stupid. It's just me. Still, I am so excited to move back home and get settled here again. I like being abroad, but I missed everyone back here. Now we have no excuse. We have to make sure we meet up more often than we have been doing, okay?
Of course, I agree. I'm going to text you every single day and hang out with you so much that you get sick of the sight of me. Oh, and here's your wedding invitation. I never expected I would be giving you one of these again. What a weird feeling.
If I had known you were going to give me this, I would have asked to meet up sooner. Congratulations again. I'm so happy for you both. You have no idea how happy it makes me to see you so happy and living such a good life. You deserve it after all you've been through. I bet Harry is so excited too, right? He must be very proud.
He's basically my savior at this point, honestly. He's like an angel.
By the way, you still haven't really told me how this all happened. I remember Harry set the two of you up on a blind date, but I don't know much about what happened after that. Didn't he suggest the two of you stayed in touch as friends? You were kind of nervous and panicking, weren't you?
Yeah, that's how it all started. After we met that first time, I was pretty wary of him and couldn't really figure him out. But he was so confident and friendly, it was easy to get along with him. He was just so easy to talk to, even from the very beginning. We spoke about our past too, and comforted each other. It turns out he had a similar experience to me, so he understood exactly how I was feeling. Honestly, I feel more comfortable talking to him about anything and everything than I do with my own family. He just makes me feel so safe and able to express myself. Thanks to him, I realized that actually I do want a happy life, and I do feel like I deserve it. To be honest, I had never felt more tired and exhausted than I did when the doctor said I was cancer-free. I think physically I had healed, but emotionally I still had a long way to go. I think before I met him, I just didn't feel like there was any point to my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. But now, thanks to him, I live every day with a smile. I feel so lucky.
That really sounds like such a healthy, solid relationship. I'm so happy for you, Sarah. I'm just pleased to see you acting like the Sarah I used to know, before the cancer and everything else. He sounds like a really lovely guy. I guess Harry has better taste in men than he does in women. Maybe that's where he's been going wrong all these years.
I was hoping he would have met someone by now. I'm starting to worry about him. I don't think he really wants to live his life by himself, you know.
You know, he actually went on a blind date himself recently, and it sounds like it went pretty well. Our mom kept pressuring him to put himself back out there, but it seemed like he just had bad luck with women.
Oh, really? That's great. Does she seem like a nice girl? Is she friendly?
She really is. Obviously, you are the kindest and most wonderful person I've ever met, but I think she's a pretty close second. She just seems so generous and full of love to give. Don't you think that's great? I'm really happy for him.
Oh, stop flattering me. But yes, I'm very happy for him too. If you think about it, everything good that I have in my life now is thanks to you. I owe you everything. Now I can live a normal life being happy and loved. If I hadn't had you as my closest friend, I would have just been taking life's hits on my own with no one else in my corner to back me up. I could never have found such a wonderful husband on my own either. You even left a note on the notice board at the hospital that other woman used to work at, sticking up for me and saying what she had done.
Oh, that was all nothing. It's just what friends do for each other. I know you would always do your best for me, too. That's how it works. Imagine if I had left you to suffer through all those things on your own. That would have made me a terrible friend, abandoning you when you needed help. Besides, I didn't want to see that horrible woman living a happy and successful life working at that hospital. I had to make her pay somehow. She tried to sue me for defamation, you know. Did I tell you about that? Of course, Harry was still a practicing lawyer at the time, and it was really easy for him to get her claim thrown out, especially after what she had done. She kept calling me, though, nagging about how I was a bad person who had it in for her. Anyway, once the rumors started spreading about how she had stolen a patient's husband and had to quit, she couldn't get another job at a hospital with a good reputation. The only way was down for her after what she did to you.
I honestly can't believe she's a nurse. I thought medical workers were usually generous and caring since the job is so tough.
I know, right? I would feel so uncomfortable if I was one of her patients, knowing what she had done. Anyway, you don't need to think about any of that. Just get excited thinking about the happy life you're going to have with your new husband, okay?
I know. Thank you. Wow, this restaurant is amazing! It's so beautiful in here. How did you find this place? Oh, I have my ways. I thought it was the sort of place you would like, so I made a reservation for us to come and try it out together. It's even better than it looks in the photos online, to be honest. We've been working so hard on getting everything ready for the wedding, and I know you've been stressed. Isn't it exciting that soon we're going to be officially husband and wife? I mean, we've already done all the paperwork and filed our marriage license, so technically we're already married. You know, after what happened with my ex-husband, I thought I would never be this happy ever again. It felt like my life was over. I feel so lucky to have met you, and that I get to love you. I always felt like I only had one chance at true love. I know exactly how you feel. To be honest, I knew from the first moment that I met you that I needed to have you in my life somehow, even if it was just as a friend. I suppose it was just a gut feeling that we needed to be together. I was like you, though, and I could never have imagined that one day I would be as happy and content as I am now. I'm so glad you decided to let me put a ring on it.
I'm so grateful to you, honey. You gave me so much confidence and strength to move on from my past.
Don't be silly. That strength was all inside you to begin with. I just wanted to make you happy. Come on, let's cheers to our soon-to-be married life. I promise I'm going to make sure you never feel stressed or worried about anything ever again.
Me too, honey. We're partners now. I'm going to be the best wife you could ever wish for. Hang on just a moment, though. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a second.
No worries. See you in a minute.
Are you kidding me? Look at how filthy this toilet is. Have you even tried to clean it? How many times do I have to show you how to do this until you get it right? We've had so many complaints from our customers about the toilets being dirty. Take some pride in your job. Come on!
How am I supposed to take pride in my job when my job is scrubbing toilets? It's just gross. This is such a beautiful restaurant, but these toilets were a stupid choice. The shape makes them impossible to clean properly. God, this is so annoying.
What did you just say? You think this is annoying? I'm sorry. Is that how you think you can behave after we gave you a job when you had no money and experience? We have plenty of more qualified candidates, believe me. I'm going straight to the boss and telling her about your attitude. I'll tell her all about the loan sharks that keep banging on the restaurant door, too. I know they're looking for you.
Are you serious? That's so unfair. You're using my weaknesses to spite me.
Sure I am, but... Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you. I didn't know you were there. No problem. Don't worry about it. These things happen. I must say, though... Wait a second. It can't be.
What are you doing here?
Wow, fate really wants the two of us to keep meeting, huh? It feels like our paths cross every few years. Every time I see you, your situation is different. Stealing my husband, engaged, and now cleaning toilets in a restaurant. Although I guess my situation has changed over time, too.
Huh. Is that really how you're going to speak to me after you ruined my entire life? You should feel guilty about what you did. How can you just stand there and watch me suffer?
I mean, your situation now is of your own making. What am I supposed to do about it? Still, I was grateful to you for your help all those years ago. Thanks to you, I'm so much happier and feel so much brighter than I had ever dreamed of. I guess you were my guardian angel all along. Thank you for all your help.
What? What are you talking about? You think I'm your guardian angel?
Of course. They do exist, you know. And thanks to you, my life is amazing now. By the way, that toilet over there is blocked too. It's full of toilet paper and mess. I just thought I should let you know, since it sounds like you're the bathroom cleaner based on what I heard you talking about earlier. Anyway, enjoy!
You little... Ugh, this is so frustrating! What is wrong with me lately? Nothing is going my way! My whole life is such a mess! Excuse me, that's our car there. Please would you pull it around? Sorry, honey, I have to make a quick phone call. I should only be a minute or so.
No problem. Go ahead, babe.
Of course, sir. I'll just grab the keys and... Huh? Babe, is that you?
My God. What the hell are you doing here? I thought I was never going to have to see you again after we got divorced. This is a cruel twist of fate.
But how? This car is so expensive. Is it yours? How did you buy it? Wait, are you married? Did you meet someone else?
Yes, I did actually. I managed to find someone who would treat me like a human being, even if I couldn't have kids. He still sees me as the whole woman. I guess you're working here as a valet then? Well, even back when we were together, you were always a good driver. I guess this kind of job suits you well. Good job on finding something you could do competently. Congratulations, you finally have a respectable career.
Huh. Man, you really have no shame, do you? What did you have to do to marry a man who can afford a car like this? Did you lie to him about not being able to have kids?
Don't be stupid. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. I heard you and your little girlfriend broke up, though.
That's such a shame. I thought the two of you were perfect for each other, but I suppose it just didn't work out. A trash man like you would have done well with a trash woman like her. You deserved each other. I hope you haven't been going round and breaking any more hearts, have you? No more broken marriages? Maybe you could keep it in your pants this time.
What? Don't you dare bring her up. That's nothing to do with you. You have no idea how much you ruined my life. I fell from the top and it was all your fault. If I had known you were doing so well for yourself, I would have gotten back in touch to ask what you were up to. I assumed you would have hit rock bottom after your surgery and our marriage ending, which is why I didn't text you. I thought I would just be rubbing my success in your face. But now look at you. Married to a rich man and driving around in an expensive car. If I had known, you could have helped me to get back on my feet. Still, I guess your success belongs to your husband, really. Come on, give me some money. I bet he gives you a decent allowance, right? Think of it as compensation for my struggles. That woman caused my business to collapse and I had to take out a whole bunch of loans to keep myself afloat. I was completely broke for a long time, not a penny to my name. Honestly, my life was so difficult for a while there, I thought I was going to die. Surely you still have some feelings left for me deep inside, after everything we've been through. Just a bit of money, say 100,000. I'm sure that would be enough to cover all my debts. God, what a moron. It's embarrassing to see you like this. I guess you never did learn how to act like a decent person then. You're still as scummy and selfish as I remembered. Oh, don't be like that. I paid you so much money in the divorce settlement. You owe me big time. I bet you've been living off that money this whole time, haven't you? This is a sign from the universe that you were meant to be here today to save me. You're my savior. Sure, I guess there was some saving involved. Thanks to your stupid mistake, I was saved from a life of being married to you, and now I'm the happiest I've ever been. You should just be happy I never did sue you for your affair. You're welcome. Here, I'll give you a tip for your service today. What? But this is only $5? Is this a joke? What do you mean, only $5? I didn't have to give you anything after what you did to me. Just take it and go and buy yourself something to eat. You look pathetic. Your uniform is way too big for you. I remember burgers always used to be your favorite, and they're cheap too. That will buy you a whole meal. You cow! Are you just here to show off how well you're doing now? Huh? This is just to make me feel bad? Honey, what's going on here? Are you okay? Who is this guy? How dare you point at my wife and yell at her like that? This is shocking! I'm going to report you to your boss. Babe, is this guy not a real employee? Has he been hassling you? Oh, baby, I'm so glad you're here. This man just suddenly started screaming at me. I don't know what he wants. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. Please make him go away. Are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? What a weird guy. He must have something wrong with him. Maybe he's on drugs or he's drunk. You should know, I'm friends with the owner of this valet business. I'm not going to just let this slide. Do you understand? You should expect severe consequences for what you did. Come on, sweetie. Let's get out of here. I'm coming, babe. God, that woman. How can she do this to me? How can she just watch me struggle like this while she is hanging off the arm of some rich guy? This is so unfair, I swear. Oh, come on! Are you really going to fire me for shouting one time? It was no big deal. This has never happened before. This is such a scam. I'm going to report you for this. Besides, she's my ex-wife and she was really trying to wind me up. She did it on purpose. She's just trying to ruin my life. That's why I shouted. I would never do something like that normally. Clearly this is unfair. You can't fire me just because I offended a friend of yours. It's totally illegal, I swear. I'm going to tell the Department of Labor about this, and then the whole business will be in real trouble. Just you wait and see. Do you have any idea how much that gentleman spends with us every month? We can't afford to lose him as a customer. It would decimate our numbers. I only just managed to persuade him to keep using our business. He was threatening to never come here ever again. Do you really expect me to believe that you used to be married to his wife anyway? Stop complaining and trying to lie your way out of this, because it isn't going to work. Just clear out your locker and get out of here. Quickly. To be honest, I already know about your bank account being blocked. How bad must your credit be for the bank to do something like that? I'm going to pay you in cash for your work recently, only because I feel bad for you. I'm being extremely generous, I hope you know that. Now go ahead and try to report us to the Department of Labor. See what they do. You yelled at a customer. They're hardly going to think you were in the right and we were out to get you. Why aren't you leaving? Just go!
Huh. Man, you couldn't make this up. What is my life coming to? If I don't have a job here, I've got nothing and no way of earning any money. Come on, boss. Please give me another chance. I'll apologize to that guy and his wife. Just give me a break, I beg you. It only happened because that woman was trying to make me mad. I swear it won't happen again. What do you say? If they won't come here, just tell me where I can find them and I'll go over there myself to apologize. Watch me.
Don't be an idiot. Do you really think I would let you keep working here after how you just spoke to me? Forget about yelling at a customer. That was so rude. You're done. Now get out.
But how am I supposed to earn any money now? This is the only job I have. Please, boss. Those loan sharks are already chasing me down, and I don't have any money to give them. I need this job.
That's not my problem. You should have thought of that before you screamed at a customer. Now get out of my office!
Please, sir, I'm begging you. You know I have nowhere to go if I don't work here. Surely you feel bad about kicking me out onto the street like this. I'll do better from now on, I swear. I'll be the best employee you've ever had. It was a one-time thing, and it will never happen again. Please save me, boss. Just give me one more chance. Won't you do that? Please?
I would let my business go bust before I gave you a second chance. Do you understand? There is absolutely no way I will keep you as an employee. I already told you several times that you needed to get your temper under control, and now it's come back to bite you. Stop bothering me and just get out of here. You're done. Leave now before I call security and have you removed.
God, I must be going crazy. Honestly, this is going to be the end for me if you fire me now. Do you really think you're so amazing that it's okay for you to do this to a person? It's completely unfair.
Since I married my second husband, my life has been truly amazing. I feel so happy and lucky. My new husband cherishes me like I'm a precious stone and takes care of me even more than he did when we were just dating. He is the best husband I could have ever asked for. I'm trying my best to be a good wife and partner to him, too. My friend did end up being offered the job as a professor at the university, so now she teaches students there full-time. She loves it, and she loves being able to share everything she learned when she was studying and researching, too. Harry did go on the blind date with the woman his sister found for him, and things went really well. They just announced that they're going to be getting married early next year, and they seem so happy and in love together. Looking at how my life has turned out, it makes me wonder if there are certain people that are put in your life for a very specific reason. Recently, my husband's restaurant business has been doing really well, and they've opened several new locations. I'm the manager at one of the new branches, and it's been great getting to work together. Every day, the queue of customers outside gets longer and longer as people hear about how good our food is, which has encouraged my husband to develop new dishes and expand the company even further. I'm so proud of him for all his hard work. Before, it felt like I was just a passenger in my own life, but now I feel like I'm really alive and present in every moment. I hope we can continue to enjoy our happy life together for a long time. I just want us to be able to grow old together and live a healthy life full of love and joy. I know that as long as my husband is by my side, we can tackle any challenge that comes our way. Since I bumped into my ex-husband 6 months ago, he has tried to contact me a number of times. He said that he keeps being chased by loan sharks since he isn't paying off his debts. He blames me for losing his job, and he keeps saying I should pay him for what I did to him. To begin with, I was just going to block him and report his number to the cell phone company. When I told my husband about it, though, he encouraged me to go to the police and report him for harassment so that he would definitely have to leave me alone. I heard from the police about how he was living, and it really sounds like his situation is really bad. His debts are over $2 million at this point, and the interest just keeps adding up. His bank account has been suspended since his credit is so bad, which is making it almost impossible for him to find another job.
It feels like yesterday that I was living with my ex-husband, going into hospital to have my cancer removal surgery, and finding out about his affair. I had no idea what my life had in store for me back then, but I think that was a good thing. Although it was tough at times, I don't think I would be where I am today without the experiences I've had. Actually, when I first found out about my ex-husband cheating on me, there were times I wished I would lose my fight to cancer. It seemed like I had nothing else to live for, and I was tired of fighting for the bare minimum. Now that I look back, though, I would have never known the peace and happiness that I do now if I had given up that day. If any of you are having a hard time right now, I hope my story gives you hope. Even if things seem impossible right now and you feel like giving up, just try to be patient and get through it. One day you will look back on where you came from and realize you've forgotten the pain you feel right now. Good things will always come to good people. Sometimes those good things need bad things to happen first, so that you can reach your true potential. I'll be rooting for you, and I know that one day you will be as happy as I am right now. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more content.